Welcome back to another trade recap. Today is Wednesday, August the 12th. This morning we had CPI numbers being released. You can see the semis leading the markets higher with, of course, MU continuing to push towards the upside. We had a lot of nice trading opportunities coming into market open, specifically memory tickers. So with that being said, let's hop straight into the charts to show you guys exactly what trades that I took today. Before we do that, let's take a look at my monthly P&L. It's been an absolutely fantastic month. Every day has been green so far, up $40,000. That is not including today's P&L. So over 50, around $55,000 for the month so far. Every single day, as you can see, we've been trading nicely. This week, Palantir on Monday. Yesterday, a couple of trades, MU, Tesla, not too much, but today was a big trade on MU. As you can see, the trade that we end up taking was the MU reclaim setup. Higher time frame was bullish, looking for continuation towards the upside. Made roughly around 15,000, a little bit less on this trade. Took the 9-10 calls. As you can see, once we entered, within about 7 minutes, contracts were up roughly around 100, 130%. So very nice trade today on MU. It was a reclaim setup. We'll go over exactly what we were looking for coming into market open, and then we'll go over the live session here in a second. That being said, let me pull up the pre-market game plan on exactly what I was looking for coming into today. So as you can see, the game plan for the 12th coming into market open, we're moving higher here in the pre-market after core CPI. Coming into today, the key levels on the QQQ is the previous day highs, SMH leading the markets towards the upside this morning. Main watches will be semis, AMD, NVIDIA, other names, MU, SNDK, INTC, AVGO, continuation, all above the previous day highs. If we're looking at the 1 hour charts that I put in the Discord, as you can see, we kind of had this higher time frame downtrend break on MU. There was room up in towards our 930 here. So after we broke this trend line, next logical level kind of up into this 930. SNDK up into that 1450. INTC, nice bounce off this 98. By the time market did open, we're already up in towards those key levels on the higher time frame. So what was I looking for coming into today here on MU? As I mentioned on the higher time frames, what we had marked out was that downtrend break. If we can break above that previous day highs, which we're already above in the pre-market, what we're looking for is that push up in towards that 930 here on the higher time frames. If we're taking a look at the QQQ, the key levels coming into market open was that 726. So far, we're seeing that nice push in the pre-market. That was our key technical level. The SPY, the key level, you can see we actually rejected here on the SPY off that 775. But the semiconductors were the ones that were showing strength. You can see the semis were well above that previous day highs. Higher time frames, we are still kind of rejecting off this area, which is at 588. But what I would like to see now is the break above for continuation here, of course. So semis were strong all day. Those are what we're focusing on coming into market open. So for MU, what was the trading opportunity that we're looking for? As you can see in the pre-market, we're fairly bullish. We're above our previous day highs. We're having this nice push up in the pre-market. We're looking for something what's called the dip and rip. Dip and then rip towards the upside. That's the overall thesis. So what are the levels that we have marked out? In this case, I have our high of day, which is our 920. You can see there's a couple levels here. That's also our 5-minute range high. So we can mark out our opening range. And now once we play out the tape, there's really two scenarios that we're looking for. Number one would be the bounce off that 5-minute range low for continuation or longs above the previous day highs. Since we know that the market is bullish just based off that pre-market action, in this case, we can look for a little bit more of an aggressive entry for continuation higher. So for MU, as price pushes underneath, right, what we're keeping an eye out for is the reaction that we have off that opening range low. So you can see it's a little bit weak. As you can see right there, that's our first sign of potential strength. Now, since we're reclaiming this opening range low, let's look for a potential reclaim setup for a pushback towards the upside. So as you can see right here, buyers start stepping in, entry, stop at break of lows, and now we can look for continuation back towards the highs, right? The entry can be on, this candle right here. You can enter in on this 943. You can enter in on the 944 candle. Regardless, now we're looking for high of day plus continuation up and towards that 930. And this move right here is all what you need. If I go back onto the Discord, as you can see, that's all what you need right there. Look at how big the contracts moved within a 7-minute period, right? On the 0-day contracts from over $10 to roughly 20 to like 24, high of 24. So within 7 minutes, over 100% on the contracts. In this move right here, pretty big move on the underlying. As you can see, over 2.2%, 20-point move on the underlying. Options move very nicely. Continuation right up and towards that key technical level. Other names that had some nice trading opportunities here today: SNDK right off that 1320. Nice higher low. This is kind of that earnings key technical area. Once we broke above, nice retest for continuation. SNDK was in play. Nvidia had a nice previous day high retest today, right off our key technical levels up and towards that 225. So a couple nice trading opportunities across the board. Really, the main thing, of course, was DRAM, right? The memory sector was bullish today, and of course, the semiconductors. So we had a nice a couple of trading opportunities coming into market open. SpaceX actually moving nicely here. That was one of our watches coming into today here as well. So a couple nice trading opportunities coming into market open. So yeah, with that being said, let's go on to the live session. So as we speed up the tape, you can see right off the bat, let's just kind of keep playing out the tape. We mentioned kind of spying cues rejecting here right off the bat. What we would like to see is a couple names, right? Really, NVIDIA, MU, and INTC were the main ones that I was keeping an eye out for. And as we kind of speed it up, there's like an INTC reclaim. Qs right off the bat was kind of rejecting off the 725. So right off the bat, we're slightly bearish, but the Qs is above our previous day high. So we're still like neutral, or sorry, we still have a bullish stance. Of course, the semis are leading the markets higher. So as these ones are pulling back, this is our first pullback. We want to see if now that first pullback gets bought up for continuation towards upside. So for like MU, INTC, and NVIDIA, we're all looking for the reclaim setups currently. So as Qs is coming back down into this like 723.30 general area, there's a couple names, right? INTC reclaiming right off the bat. That could have been a potential scalp back towards the upside. MU, I was interested in right here. So MU, right, with the Qs pulling back, MU, I was keeping an eye out for that 904. That was our opening print. And I want to see the reaction here on the Qs. Let's see MU here. Let's see if any buyers want to step in after reclaiming that opening range low. As I speed it up, you can see MU buyers start stepping in here. I was looking for the 9-10 calls. You can see now we're flipping back above. Once we get back above that opening range low on the 5, you can see buyers start stepping in. This is where you can look to take an entry. Stop can be a break underneath this candle low once it closes, looking for a push back up and towards high day and above. So you can see MU is fairly bullish. As we start speeding up the tape here, I'm just mentioning, right, I like MU for continuation towards the upside. You can see now, look at the buyer start stepping in here on MU. So once we reclaim that low, right, this is still a good entry, right? Stop at the lows for continuation towards the upside. As you play it out, you can see buyers start stepping in aggressively here. Really main target is going to be high of day plus that 930. And as we speed it up, you can see Qs end up having a nice pop, and that's what allowed MU to gravitate up and towards that 930. Even NVIDIA, potential previous day high retest here as well. And as you kind of speed it up, right up and towards that 930 with that QQQ pop. So beautiful trade on MU. Roughly around 7 minutes from that 5-minute range low all the way up and towards our 930 or high day at 930. That was a trade right there. And then there's a couple other trades that kind of set up. NVIDIA, nice kind of previous day high retest. And you had a couple other names, but those are the main trades for today. MU, really solid. This month has been fantastic, right? No complaints on my end. We've been trading very nicely. Every single day has been green so far. Only around one red day in the past month and a half. So really solid trading. A lot of opportunities out there. Now semis are bouncing, which is great. So we'll keep an eye out on the semiconductors, of course. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. And I'll see you guys all next time. Peace, everyone. Take care.